In this video, we're going to cover sales order entry in Business Central Cloud. So in Business Central, I'm on my Role Center homepage. I can go ahead and click on the sales orders tile here in the bottom left. I can see I have 4 outstanding sales orders right now, and that'll take me directly into my sales order list. I can very quickly see the status of each one of those sales orders, whether they're open or they've been released to the warehouse, as well as if any amounts have shipped on any outstanding sales orders, which would indicate that I have a back order situation where I have line items that did not ship. So this is always going to be my list for all of my outstanding sales orders. But when I want to create a new one, I'm going to go ahead and click on the New button at the top, and I'm going to get presented with the sales order page. In the General Fast tab at the top, I'm going to put my header level information for this sales order. So I'm first going to choose my customer. So I'm going to pick Hartford Coffee Suppliers here. And in this condensed view of the General Fast tab, I only have the basic information to enter. So my document date is going to default to today. I can put in a requested delivery date. If I know they are not going to need this until the middle of next month, I'm going to go ahead and put that requested delivery date in there, as well as a PO number for my customer. Now, there are several other fields up here in the General Fast tab, and if I want to see those, I can go ahead and expand. I can see who the purchasing contact is at the customer. I can tie this to a campaign or an opportunity or reference the salesperson. There's a lot of things I can do with additional fields in the General Fast tab, but I'm going to go ahead and condense that, and I'm going to come down here to the line items for this order. Now, there are a couple of different ways that I can enter my line items, which are the purchased items from the customer. You'll notice at the very top up here, I have a banner that says there are recurring sales line items that exist for this customer. This is if you have scenarios where you have customers that commonly order the same things. Maybe they're replenishment orders for the same product every single time. I'll show you that in just a minute, but let's just enter a basic line item here. I'm going to enter in this Colombian whole roasted blend that we have here. It's going to default to the optimal location to fulfill to this customer. That's set on the customer card. I'll go ahead and put my quantity in here, and I have the rest of the information populated in from my sales price lists and my discount lists that are associated with this customer. Now, I could enter line items like that if I wanted to. Or what I could do is, since we do have recurring entries for this customer, I can go ahead and say get recurring lines, and maybe I have a reorder for this customer, which they always reorder the same 3 products. They always reorder Colombian, Brazil, and Indonesian roasted beans from us. I can put all 3 of those on this order, and I can even have quantities if I want to. Since I already put my Colombian line on here, I'll go ahead and remove the Colombia line, and I'll go ahead and enter a quantity of 2. Let's see, maybe they want a dozen, 2 dozen, and then 8 down here for Indonesian. So I've got a nice spread, and you'll see that I have a banner up here on the top that says I don't have enough of the Colombian to fulfill this order. It gives me a nice banner at the top saying that I don't have enough. So if I'm on the phone with the customer, I can see that. So this banner along the top can give me a lot of information based on my supply chain. So if I look, it's item number 1000. Well, in my fact box set over here on the right, I can go ahead and drill down in the sales line details and the availability. And I can see the item availability is -24 pieces for this item. However, I do have 38 that are physically in inventory. Well, that doesn't make sense, so why don't we drill in and take a closer look. So this item availability inquiry right here will show me what my current inventory level is. Remember, I had 38 that were currently in inventory. That's my current on-hand quantity at my SIM location. But you'll notice that I have other orders that are ahead of it in terms of when they need to be delivered. I've got 2 order numbers right here, one for 20 and one for 30, that puts me at a -12 deficit before my order needs to ship on the 13th of January. So this tells me where I'm at from a supply chain standpoint, and I can make sure that a purchase order will get created for this item. If I look at my other quantities, you can see down here on Brazil, I have item availability of 10 and available inventory. What's physically in inventory is 64. So obviously what this is telling me is that I've got a gross requirement here, not only of the 24 that I'm ordering, but a gross requirement of 54 when all orders are taken into place. So that gives me a really good outlook on where I'm at from an item availability standpoint. In addition to my item availability, my pricing, I can also see what prices and how these prices and discounts were provided to the customer. So from a sales prices and sales line discounts, a customer may qualify for multiple price levels. In this instance, this item that I zoomed in from, the 1001 item, has a all customer price of $16.50 that was effective on the 1st, and it doesn't matter how many they buy, they always get it for $16.50. So if there were multiple price levels based on geographical region or type of customer, you would see all those price levels here. And then of course the customer would qualify for the lowest price of that group. In addition, I also have a sales line discount that this customer is qualifying for. If I click on that, I'm going to see that this customer is part of the distributor's customer discount group, and the distributor's customer discount group gets a 5% line discount on anything in the coffee bean category. So we have an item discount group of coffee beans, and there's a 5% off if you're classified as a distributor. So we can have multiple discounts, multiple price levels assigned to customers, and these are the inquiries that you can use to see how that customer qualified for that price or for that discount. If I take a look further on my sales order down to shipping and billing, notice that I can ship to the sell to address associated with the order. If I have multiple ship to addresses for this customer, I can choose from that list, or I can put a custom address in if this is a one-off order. Of course, this customer defaults from my SIM location site, like I mentioned earlier. I also have the shipping information, such as the shipping code, the agent, which in this case is FedEx, and then the agent service, which is standard. So this would be a ground shipment from FedEx. The packaging and tracking number information is here on the order, however, it hasn't been generated yet. I also have additional bill tos that I can put on the invoices that will ultimately be created from this order. So if we have parent-child relationships, I can bill another customer if I need to, based on a parent-child relationship that already exists. Now that I'm just about finished entering this order, I can scroll back up to the top, and you'll notice the status of this order is in open status, which basically means that it's still the responsibility of the sales order entry clerk or the salesperson or whoever is entering it into the system. Once it's ready to be released to the warehouse for either fulfillment or for purchasing, the sales order entry person can release the order, which will change the status to released and lock all of the information on the order. It'll actually version it as well. Now, there are many actions that can be tethered to the release of an order based on what your current fulfillment strategy is or your business processes at your organization. However, most commonly what we see is if you're picking on an order-by-order basis, a pick instruction would be generated and sent to the warehouse, or perhaps a confirmation, an order confirmation would be emailed to the customer now that the order has been finalized. There can also be multiple approvals in place as you deal with customer credit limits and so forth. So if you had a customer credit limit approval process on your sales orders, this status would not change to released until it cleared that customer approval. Now that we've completed this order, I'll go head back into my sales order list, and you can see that I have a Hartford Coffee Suppliers order number 9 down here that was released that is sitting in my list. Thank you for watching our sales order entry video. Stay tuned for future videos on order fulfillment and invoicing.